trying not to use my sports voice.
You have a sports voice?
I do have a sports voice.
Why do you need a sports voice that's different from your voice?
I don't know, actually. I have no idea. It's one of those things where there's just a little bit more of an edge in my voice whenever I talk about sports. And I don't know if it's because sports makes me inherently more expressive about my anger about things. But I don't know what it is. But whenever I hear that song, my voice immediately is 10 times more aggressive than my natural speaking voice.
Well, can I tell you a secret about that song?
What's the secret about that song?
I heard it on TV the other day, and this is like, public domain royalty-free song that anyone can use. I heard that very bumper the other day on TV for Little Caesars advertising breadsticks. I
heard it too. I was watching football at Bar Louie, I think, and
you normie.
I know, but they have lots of TVs, and food. So
none of them are watching Adult Swim. I can't go. It's the only way I watch TV. Sorry, guys.
You show up. Can you change it so that I can watch $1 Million Extreme?
Hey, World Peace is on, guys. You need to change the TV. I need my World. Go there. Like, was it 2 a.m. that they're on? I think. No, it's 12:15 that World Peace is on. And walk in and be like, hey guys, Eric Andre's over. It's time.
You could, in theory, they're still open at that point.
That's true.
But I heard the song in the bar, and thought, my radio show. Like, I have to be there.
Yeah.
To start my program, and it took me about 10 seconds of confusion to realize that no, it's just a Little Caesars pizza ad. So now I desperately want to change my bumper.
You can. I'm picturing this scenario though, where you forget that you don't have the day off, and the guy who owns Bar Louie is like, "Hey, Keon, we're listening to your radio station." You hear your music playing, you're like, "Oh no, I'm not there."
What I do is I stand up on the table and go, "Clutch with Keon Rose here." AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
Did you see the thing with Colin Kaepernick and the thing he did?
He keeps kneeling. Look, it's on that TV.
More kneeling than Kevin Nealon going on here. That's a joke he would have made because he's a bad comedian.
No comment.
Bad comedian. Like Jeff Foxworthy.
So as always, I am underprepared for this show. So
I'm trying to unlock my phone. So that's my content for the day. I'm trying to unlock my phone. Try to guess Russell's phone password. You'll never guess it. It's from a movie. This is awful. Okay?
Okay.
This is an article from The Guardian. This is awful. Robot can keep children occupied for hours without supervision. The article headline starts out with, "This is awful."
Okay, nice to know that you're not going to be unbiased in this story at all from the beginning.
It gets better. It's written by Julia Carey Wong in San Jose, California.
Okay.
She says, a child-sized robot designed to take on distinctly adult responsibilities takes the debate over the automation of human jobs to the next level. She says this, and of course, all due credit to Julia Carey Wong, writer for The Guardian. This is a very well-written article. She says, humanoid robots were out of fashion at this year's Robo Business, the annual exhibition in San Jose, California, that pegs itself as the most important robotics event in the world. Make your robot look and sound too much like C-3PO, explained Ty Yegerson of Savioke. The people's expectations of intelligence go up, says Savioke's robot, a hotel bot that delivers room service to hotels, instead resembles a slightly sleeker R2-D2 because they don't expect it to recite Shakespeare back or complain about being sent to the spice mines of Kessel.
Huh.
Star Wars. The exception to the non-anthropomorphic, however, was the iPal. It's called that, the iPal.
Please stop with the putting I in front of things.
Had an iDog as a kid, the thing you plug the MP3 player in and it wags its head.
I do vaguely remember that.
I had an iFish too. But the iPal, a child-sized robot designed to take on distinctly adult responsibilities. The 3-foot-tall iPal has wide eyes, working fingers, pastel trimming, and a touchscreen tablet embedded in its chest. Now, I'm worried that this is going to raise children to think that all adolescents will grow eventually a touchscreen tablet in their chest. This is going to have some children with unrealistic expectations of puberty.
Right. I'm just waiting for mine to come in, my tablet.
I'm a late bloomer when it comes to my tablet. My tablet's a little bit small. Actually, it's more of a smartphone. It can sing, dance, and play rock, paper, scissors. It can talk with children, answer questions like, why is the sun hot? Because of a supercombustion of hydrogen atoms and the giant molten reactor inside the sun. An answer doesn't, because it's hot there.
An answer that's so long that the child doesn't know exactly what to say.
I wonder if Google.
Why is that too?
I wonder if Google has an answer. Let's find out. Okay, Google. Okay, Google.
Embarrassing us on the air, Google.
Why is the sun hot? Give it a minute. It's recognizing what I said. Bears against on the air. Google, why is the sun hot?
Ha!
It's the Bears against.
It was a massive swirling gases that included a core center that is compressing atoms together in a process called nuclear fusion.
That is why the sun is hot.
But Google is getting really good at answering those questions.
Google's voice is astoundingly good these days.
Like that sounded like a person.
Have you heard here, watch this. Okay, Google. When did Blade Runner come out? It's only appropriate.
Right.
Released in United States of America on June 25th, 1982.
Isn't that freaky?
It's very freaky.
Yeah, that's Google for you. And they're expending hundreds of millions of billions of dollars into making it sound that good so they can spy on us for the NSA.
And have us think it's a friend.
It is your buddy, just like Facebook and Twitter.
Mm.
You know, you see the whole thing with Deutsche Bank today?
I did hear a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, Twitter is now worth more than Deutsche Bank is. Yeah. And Twitter's not worth that much.
That's a long fall.
Yeah.
If you're Deutsche Bank. A very, very long fall.
Well, Avatar Mind founder Jiping Wang says it's a robot for children. It's mainly for companionship. The iPal he boasted. I'm picturing him like a big cigar and a three-piece suit. He boasted could keep children aged 3 to 8 occupied for a couple of hours without adult supervision. It's perfect for the time when children arrive home from school a few hours before their parents get off work, he says. The iPal takes the debate over the automation of human jobs to the next level. The ethics of how robots should interact with children is necessarily more fraught than the ethics of robots in the workforce. I don't think so. Because this is no different than TV. I mean, honestly.
When it comes to because people, I don't know necessarily, but I think people are very high on the debate of the TV thing too. We've just grown to accept it. we might just grow to accept the iPal also.
That's one letter off from iPad. I mean, that's
just the creativity there is just astounding.
Yeah. I created the iPhoney. My iPhoney.
I'm sure there's a Chinese product somewhere that is basically called that you can find on AliExpress.
Well, there's the Raspberry Pi, the little computer. There's a Banana Pi that you can buy on AliExpress that does the exact same thing.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Of course you can.
I've got 3 on back order.
Really?
No.
Because that would, I was just thinking that would be the coolest thing if you did.
As soon as I have more money, I'm going to buy one. That's on top of my list of things to do right now.
I can see that.
I splurged this month on guitar strings. So I'm going to splurge next month, October, on 3 Banana Pis for $20. So you'll see LED lights that change when you speak underneath the desk here.
Right.
For no reason.
That'll be our iPal. Right there.
Yeah, a little machine that repeats what you say in a slightly higher pitched voice. Patrick Keon Rose.
Keep Keon entertained.
And distract the crap out of him when he's on the air.
And also, you wouldn't need adult supervision at that point.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have to stick around and watch you when you do your show.
Exactly.
I should buy an iPal for you.
I could think of at least exactly one use that people in the South have for an iPal, which is football season.
Oh, yeah.
You just cram your kid and the iPal into a corner while you're supposed to be watching them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn around and watch Tennessee and Georgia coming up.
Well, yeah, that is coming up, and I'm pretty... We got a good segue. I'm pretty hyped about that.
Yeah, going to be a good game.
It better be a good game. By that, I mean Georgia better win.
Yeah. Well,
I'm wearing red today.
You're wearing red. And
I am wearing red.
In honor of your
red
team.
And almost black. Red and navy blue.
Is that blue?
Yeah, it's actually.
Oh, it is blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a second it actually did look black.
Well, that's because I said black. I suggested it to you.
Yeah, there you go. I'm highly suggestible. Don't hypnotize me, people. I won't like it very much.
Right.
Or UGA could be Uganda. You could root for the Ugandan national team.
I'm never going
as well.
Those hacks. You know, remember when you were talking about that, and some dude, I don't know who he was, called in and argued that, you know, University of Georgia is worth more than Uganda is. So obviously, University of Georgia is much better than anything Uganda could ever put out, just by means of, you know, sheer R&D costs they could put into anything ever. Like Uganda's like, we came out with this, you know, American football player, and we spent our entire GDP on it, and you know, twice that on ours.
And look, we have a whole team.
He's got lasers on his pinkies.
I mean, have you seen Nick Chubb when he's healthy?
Yeah.
He might as well have lasers on his pinkies.
He's like a tank. The man could just roll over anybody.
He's scary.
Yeah.
Like, he is horrifying to me. In terms, because he's not even that much taller than me.
No, he's a pretty average size-wise. He's an average guy, but width-wise, he's built like a linebacker, you might say.
Basically. That's the main reason why I could never play football, is every now and then you see people like Nick Chubb.
It's like in Hey Arnold, the 6th graders, you know, who were like a million times bigger than the 4th graders.
Right.
Wolfgang, I think was his name. Wolfgang was one of them.
Man, that's throwback there, sir. So this is Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. 2 Millennials Talk. And the thing about President Obama is that he is one of, at least just as a person. I'm not going to go into the politics of it because I feel like I'm just asking for it at that point. But he is one of the cooler presidents that we have had. That, you know, we've had our cool presidents, we've had our uncool presidents, like Howard Taft, who once got stuck in a bathtub because he was largely obese.
There's nothing very cool about that.
Nothing cool at all about Howard Taft and being stuck in a bathtub.
Howard Taft today would be on TLC.
He would.
My 600-pound life.
The TLC, which, by the way, is TV for degenerates.
It really is.
If you haven't noticed, and you are an avid watcher of TLC, I don't want to break this to you. You might be a degenerate.
It's like Discovery Health is slightly above it. That's how bad TLC is.
Yes. Yeah.
Because like when Discovery Health had, what's her name? Dr. G, medical examiner. That was a good show. She was really good on there. And when they had Untold Stories of the ER, that's a really good show. The TLC is just terrible. Anyway, Obama.
It's been all downhill from there, but Obama was talking to some people, and he said that he's pretty good at that meme thing.
Oh no!
And I think
how did I miss this?
His coolness rating dropped about 75%.
Well, he better not use Pepe, because the Anti-Defamation League just said that it's a hate symbol.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
No.
Like, Pepe is now officially on par with swastikas.
That does not make any sense.
No.
Mostly because Pepe lacks entirely the history that swastikas have.
Pepe's been around for slightly over 10 years. Swastika's been around since before the dawn of time, but...
And Pepe hasn't even been used in meme form for all 10 years that it has existed.
No.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a hate symbol now. So if I spray painted Pepe on the side of a school, like a synagogue or something, like a Jewish school, then not only would it just be vandalism. What if I didn't know it was a synagogue? I could be mistaken and think it was a Presbyterian church. We'd all have a good laugh about it later over beers and ham, but over hard liquor and ham. But no, if you do it on a Jewish synagogue, that's like equivalent of spray painting a swastika. You might actually be charged with a hate crime because of that.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That is like
Pepe the Frog.
I'm having trouble wrapping my mind around it. Also, I have Pepes on my computer. Should I?
Dude, my collection is immense.
Yeah, I only have like a handful of Pepes. You have a gigantic.
You've seen my
Pepe folder.
My collection. That's only on one computer. That's my work computer.
your work Pepes.
Those are like Pepes for work and pleasure. No, this is my Pepes for work. You haven't seen my Pepes for pleasure. They're a lot different. Whole different genre of Pepes.
Basically, have a folder filled with apparently swastika level hate images.
Well, some of them do have swastikas in them. Like of the Pepe images I've seen, like there's him dressed up in an SS uniform. It's like, haha, saved it. You know, like it's just funny.
It's a joke.
It's a joke, right? It's not like.
But I can understand if you are offended by the Pepe picture.
Sure.
With the actual swastika in it, but just a picture of Pepe.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's also a picture of Pepe with a Canadian flag hat.
Yes. There's Pepe in all different scenarios.
That's like, I mean, that's such a wide banning of something that it doesn't even make sense.
Should we explain what Pepe the Frog is?
Yeah, I guess we should.
Why don't you do the honors?
Just not assume. Well, what comic is Pepe originally?
He's from Boys Club by Matt Fury.
And the original picture of Pepe that was
Feels Good Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
And to the point where like people called him Feels Good Frog. Like,
yeah.
It was like we didn't know him as Pepe originally when he was being used on the internet.
Yeah.
And over time, the joke developed, and we started putting Pepe into different scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, Pepe's been around forever, and he just got passed around enough that he became just a general internet joke, kind of like Rickrolling was. It sort of became this cultural phenomenon, and he was in the Thanksgiving parade, Rickrolling someone on the Sesame Street float.
Yes, which he was on the Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends float.
Oh, he was? I thought it was Sesame Street.
No, it was a Cartoon Network float.
Oh, okay.
I remember watching it specifically because my little brother was watching it and didn't understand, and I was like, "What on earth is happening here?"
My sister and I both were like, "Oh, come on!" And she was like 10.
Right. The joke had died.
Yeah.
Before he did it,
dead and buried. I forgot it was a thing.
And then suddenly, here's Rick Astley coming out of a Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends float, and not one person watching the parade, because it's almost always children, really understood what was going on. Like, if you were below the age of 10, you didn't understand what was happening.
You have no idea. That's like doing Keyboard Cat now. You know?
Yeah.
Or like the even different Keyboard Cat, the one sitting on the keyboard floating in space. Like if you just did that today, or LOL Internet, you know, with Ronald McDonald in the car with his finger pointing up, says LOL Internet. Like if you did that today, it's either ironic or it's just you're an idiot because you have no idea what's going on. Like Adult Swim would do that as a bumper, and it'd be funny. But if you do that today, unironically, you're just an idiot.
I don't understand necessarily that, but like Pepe didn't. When did Pepe start to become? When did Pepe jump to the mainstream? Because he got
around like last year, but he's really picked up kind of recently because he got to Twitter, and young kids on Twitter started, you know, sharing it around. Then he got on the meme pages on Facebook, and all the normies, you know, shared it around. It sort of got to be crap. Like the ones they shared were horrible because they made their own that didn't make any sense.
Right. In the context of what Pepe is.
It just didn't make any sense.
On most Taiwanese cartoon image boards.
Our Mongolian smoke signal sharing websites. It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Outside of that content, even on Reddit, it makes sense. Reddit, you know, as much disdain as I have for Reddit a lot of the time, like, you know, it's not all bad. It makes sense on there.
The people of Reddit, at least the more long-term users of Reddit, understand the context of what it is because they don't just use Reddit.
Right.
Where people who typically are using Facebook regularly don't understand the context of things that are outside of Facebook.
They use Facebook, Gmail, and YouTube. And like those are their 3 main websites, and that's it.
Basically.
So obviously they're not going to understand the nuances of memes or what they mean.
Which is why labeling Pepe a hate symbol really doesn't make any sense.
Probably it's someone who's on Facebook, and that's all their exposure to Pepe. Like, what? It's a hate symbol.
Every time they see Pepe, something is being said that's charged in some way that just must be.
Or it's a Trump, you know, Pepe, and they're like, oh, Trump is racist, I guess. So this is too.
Which the Trump Pepe is its specific own joke. Like, how are you not?
It's its subgenre. Like, because you have Smug Pepe, and then you have Feels Guy who's upset. And when Trump was gaining a lot of momentum, you had Trump Pepe doing the finger thing, you know, holding his hand up like this. And then you had like Jeb Bush being Feels Guy, Wojak, being all upset. And that was the joke. And it just sort of carried on from there where Trump is always associated with Pepe now. And then you had people like Milo who take it too far. And devolution of Pepe. Or is it the evolution? Where did things go so right?
Good question.
How did things go so right?
And I have no idea.
Maybe how do things go so alt-right? Maybe would be the question with Milo's usage
I
of it.
hate that phrase.
It's so bad.
So much.
It's just like we got to attach labels to every political ideology.
The alt-right? How are you
so nebulous?
It doesn't describe anything.
It doesn't. It's just like angry people who are sort of conservative on Facebook. That's alt-right, I guess. Like, screw that.
I suppose. One of those two things happen.
Yeah.
Either way, this is Two Millennials Talk on Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. And don't leave.
We got some weird stories coming up. Don't worry. I got some stuff planned.
Exactly. Planned. Something like that.
I planned them, but you didn't plan anything.
No, I don't plan anything on this show. I'm sorry, everyone. But I'm just having fun. All right? We're just having fun. Next.
Hot News Talk 1240 AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio with your chance to win $124 in cash and $124 in food every week with the Hot News Talk Radio 1, 2, 3 NASCAR contest. Hot News Talk 1240. All you have to do is guess who's going to be first, second, and third place in the upcoming NASCAR Sprint Cup race. If you guess it, you'll hear your name live Monday morning at 11:30. Then call AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio to win. Enter your guess right now at Rick Davis Golden Diamonds, 5301 Brainerd Road, Chattanooga. Diesel off-road technology, Sonny Daisy. For your four-wheel drive and truck needs, stuff and upholstery with premium rubber foam. Amigos Mexican Restaurant next to Staples and Hickson. Drink specials during the race. Cell Surgeon, the Broken Screen Doc. And Shooter's Supply, 4824 Hickson Pike in Hickson. Hot News Talk 1240. Enter your guesses now and then listen to the race live to win $124 in cash and $124 in food from Chattanooga's official NASCAR radio station. Hot News Talk 1240. I love NASCAR. Shooter Supply, any A-frame, 20% off, 10% off, 5% off, everything in the store's on sale. 5, 10, 20, September sales days. Shooter Supply, handguns, carry permit classes, ammo and gear. You get 5% off of firearms, 10% off of ammo and gear, 20% off of all handgun carry permit classes. Shooter Supply, September sales days. But you gotta get here now. It's ending soon. Shooter Supply, any A-frame. We're on Hickson Pike, right around the corner, right next to the Holiday Inn Express. Shooter Supply and Indoor Range. Shooters-range.com. Order online. Shooters-range.com. September sales days.
Hi, this is Mike at Wholesale Liquidation, Highway 58, next to Taco Bell, featuring over 6,000 square feet of unique and everyday wholesale items, discounted to, get this, 50 to 75% off for retail, from new and pre-owned tools to chainsaws and auto accessories. Wholesale Liquidation, Highway 58, next to Taco Bell.
You want more business. You want to increase your bottom line. You want to spend less on advertising, imaging your business, and general expenses. You need Trade Bank. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Trade Bank. Call now to get access to nearly 400 local businesses. Trade Bank. Call 877-2202. 877-2202. Trade Bank. You want to increase your cash flow, your competitive edge, attract new customers, and build a loyal customer base. You need Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call right now. 877-2202. When you join Trade Bank, you'll get the benefit of free advertising in our monthly magazine, tradebank.com, emails, and mailouts. Join Trade Bank now and receive your Trade Bank debit card with trade credits to spend any way you want with our wide variety of Trade Bank partners. For almost 30 years, Trade Bank has been your voice for small business, a member of the American Bankers Association, and in good standing with you. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call now for a free consultation, 877-2202. That's 877-2202. Trade Bank of Chattanooga.
This is Mike at For the Record at Northgate Mall. We're the largest complete record store in town. We sell old and new vinyl records, celebrity posters, music posters, and we are the largest in town. Come see us.
Expect fair to partly cloudy skies to continue through the nighttime. Chilly overnight, though. Lows under the upper 40s to near 50. Now for your Friday, a few passing clouds, but still nice for the afternoon. Highs 72 to 75 for the weekend. More sunshine, a little warmer with highs by Sunday, 80 to 82. Did you know that you could purchase a home now with little or nothing down? Find your dream home in McBriar Realty. Call McBriar Realty at 706-657-2353 or McBriarRealty.com. And I'm Sports Gene 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare. On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240. Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio with your Hot News Now update. A woman was found in a pool of blood, almost dead in Brainerd by police. Her husband was questioned. 27-year-old Carlos Del Pozo told police that he was in the bathroom and overheard his wife on the phone talking to another man. He became enraged and stabbed her in the neck multiple times. She lay on the floor bleeding to death. She's been taken to the hospital. She's now in critical condition. He's now charged with attempted first-degree murder and aggravated domestic assault. This week, the president vetoed the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act, which would allow Americans to sue Saudi Arabia for the 9/11 attacks. But the Senate voted to override that veto. Bob Corker was among senators who voted to override. A man is believed to have robbed the same house on Toccoa Avenue twice in just a span of a few days. Right after the first burglary, though, the homeowner put a surveillance camera up inside of his house and got a great picture of the burglar. We're going to post it on the Hot News Talk Radio Facebook page. Take a good look and call police if you recognize him. If it's going on in the Tennessee Valley, it's going on Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
Martin Truex Jr. is off the pace and he is headed to the pit lane. Elliott Powers around the outside. Michael McDowell pops a right front tire. Here's Martin Truex to the bottom. Blaney blocks him off too. Meanwhile, Chase Elliott went 4 wide on the back straightaway. They're side by side for the lead.
Hear it live on Chattanooga's official NASCAR radio station.
Hot News Talk 1240.
The voice of NASCAR.
Hello, this is Millennials Talk. I'm Russell Stroud. He's Keon Rose. Keon Rose.
I'm Keon Rose.
He's Keon Rose.
There we go.
We got a bit of a story. We got a bit of a story about the height of pettiness, which I love because I love people who are more petty than I am, and I'm pretty dang petty.
Right. There's something about pettiness, especially when you feel like the person being petty has every right to be petty. There's something sweet about it.
It's justice, but it's also really mean justice. It's justice served at liquid nitrogen temperature cold.
Basically.
Yeah.
Or liquid cash in this case.
Yeah. Actually, this is hard. Cold, hard cash.
Cold, hard cash. Very hard cash. Because not $1 bill was used. This wonderful story about how Panthers fullback Mike Tolbert paid a car shop $3,900 entirely in coin.
Now, why?
Well, this article is written by Cameron De Silva, and Cameron
on what website?
FoxSports.com.
Okay, you got full credit.
Full credit. Carolina Panthers fullback Mike Tolbert allegedly experienced something that most people have in their lifetimes: a poor experience with a business. Tolbert was having the engine replaced in one of his cars, which was being done by Motion Lab Tuning. Per Tolbert's Instagram post, the job was supposed to take 10 days. After 2.5 months, the engine still wasn't replaced, which understandably bothered the fullback. Tolbert claimed he was being treated differently by the owner because he was a millionaire.
I thought you said because he's black.
Oh, no, he didn't even go that far.
Yeah.
Just, I have money, so you're treating me differently.
You know I can pay for this, and this is why you're not doing the job.
Or maybe you're trying to charge me more.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Something.
There's a problem with the transmission coils where they're not heating up right.
He paid you to replace the whole engine. Like, you can't even make stuff up. Just put another engine in.
Just stick the dang thing. That takes a day. For like a skilled mechanic, that's a day.
Oh, man.
There are places I saw out in Georgia, they do an engine swap for like $500. You know, like, this is not, it's hard, but it's not like.
It's not the most difficult thing you will do on a car.
Any competent mechanic can do it.
And do regularly.
Yeah, like every day they're doing this.
Motion Lab Tuning answered back with a Facebook post of its own, claiming that Tolbert had paid his $3,900 tab entirely with coins.
Is that a bad thing? You have to take it.
Yeah, I mean, they have no choice. He paid.
You legally have to take that money. Like, seriously, you legally must take that money because he's giving you currency. You can't refuse it.
Basically.
Like, he's giving you the payment for the service. If you say, you can't pay that way, that's illegal. Like, it really is illegal.
And so they took it.
Yes.
On Wednesday, Tolbert confirmed the story to be true and revealed that he didn't make it easy for the car business either.
Yeah,
he used pennies, dimes, nickels, you name it. Quote, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, everything. I didn't even care. I didn't care one bit. I took a truckload of them and put it right where he wanted. And I got my car. I got my car towed back to my buddy's shop.
Now, my thing is, when I was thinking of this, when you first told me about this story, is I'd love to have seen his conversation with his banker, where he walks in and he's like, "Listen, I need, how much was it?
$3,900.
I need $3,900 in coins." And the banker's like, "We don't even have that." He's like, "Contact Wells Fargo main branch. I need this money." Deutsche Bank isn't going to give it, but Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo is going to give me this money.
I need this money. So they ship in thousands of coins, like hundreds of thousands of coins from all the different places to pay for this one job that could have easily just been a credit card payment.
Yep. And look, if you ever have the opportunity to be that petty in your life, like you do have to think about the consequences, like we were talking about off the air about it.
Yeah.
You might see this person again one day. You do have to think about the consequences of being that petty.
Yeah.
But if you can get away with it,
revenge is sweet.
I would.
Remember the football player? I believe he was a football player, maybe basketball. He's one of those athlete people. He was upset. Well, the waitress was like, "He didn't tip me well enough." Remember that?
Yes.
Who was that?
I don't remember off the top of my head. It was a football player, though.
Okay.
And he just he felt like the service was really bad.
Yeah, the food was fine, but the service was terrible, and she was crappy too.
And that he had been a server and felt that he was completely justified in not tipping.
If anyone would know, it'd be him. But what if it was Panthers fallback? What's his name?
What if it was Mike Tolbert?
What if it was Mike Tolbert? Be like, "Hold on, I got to go to my truck."
What would Tolbert do?
You hear clank, clank, clank as he walks in, the jingle jangle of coins as he spills a duffel bag full of coins onto the table, and there's no tip.
Mike Tolbert is the only man in 2016 seriously wearing cargo pants. In the event that he gets the opportunity,
he can like reach in and shovel a handful of coins and just smash it on the table, like, "Keep the change."
Right? My bill is $50. Okay, how about $50 in dimes? But now,
and there's no tip.
And still no tip.
Like, that's the ultimate insult. It's like, it's not even over. It's like exactly like, $62.50, because he bought steak at Ruth's Chris or something, but there's no tip. It's exactly that in change.
And you would have to count it, which is, I think, is the worst way to discover, by the way, that you've been stiff.
Yeah.
Is as you count out this change and you are running out of coins.
You're on the last penny. You're like, "No, I get nothing out of this." It's more labor to count out those coins than it was to just give him good service.
At that point,
you are stealing money essentially from her in the form of time, and I love that.
If you had just bent over backwards to serve him properly,
it would have been less effort.
Yes. And there's something about the way that works that is just perfect.
It's the equivalent of like in Counter-Strike where you can block people from climbing ladders by staying on the ladder. It's like the equivalent of that where you just stay on the... No, it was Left 4 Dead. There's a glitch. This is too funny. I have to tell you about it. In Left 4 Dead, there's a part with the elevator. Have you ever played it?
A couple of times.
So there's a part in the hospital with the elevator that goes up and down?
Yes, I do.
It's an elevator. In the Xbox 360 version, because they never patched it, you can pick up an oxygen tank. You can use it as a melee weapon. You throw it. If you are in the elevator and you throw it at your teammates, they fall through the bottom of the elevator and die.
What?
This is the real world equivalent of doing that, I think.
Yeah.
You are griefing someone in real life.
And I think it's still somehow worse because of the amount of effort you are causing them to expend. Like, it's not just that they lost something or you troll them in some way.
Yeah.
You are making them expend even more effort as a result of your vengeance.
It's like you hacked their computer or something.
I like to imagine Mike Tolbert counting out the change himself, like expending the same effort that he would have you expend, except it's bringing him joy and glee.
He's just giggling as he's tossing his coins in his pile. But I love, like, my favorite thing about this whole story is the idea of that transition point between him being a good-natured guy and then suddenly he realizes he's been wronged and he gets all cold when he's like, "I need to talk to my banker." And he just walks off. Like, "Mr. Tolbert, your car's not ready, but it's been a month." Go to the bank. The blood bank.
do. Just
that's what happened. So I guess that's it for Mike Tolbert.
Yeah, I guess so. But
Okay.
that is one story I won't be forgetting anytime soon. That is my favorite thing.
Wish there was a way to make that a recurring joke, but
I'm sure we'll find some way.
So I've got 3 stories that I pulled here. Huffington Post is a cool service where I'm not a huge fan of Huffington Post. They have a service where they post their weirdest stories on Twitter. And it's basically a gold mine, because if you follow that, it writes itself. So I'm being very lazy, and I'm pulling from Huffington Post's strangest stories, except for this one. This one is from The Mirror, which is a UK, almost said Ukrainian. It's a UK newspaper. It's sort of tabloidish. The headline is this. Hope you're ready. This is about Sony. Sony's new PlayStation VR headset could lead to eye disease and vomiting epidemic, doctor warns. And eye disease and vomiting are in
all caps, of course. As though those words don't stand out on their own. You had to put them in caps.
Like, can you imagine the
eye disease?
Can you imagine the emergency alert system going off, and you're like, oh no, look at your phone. It's like PlayStation leads to eye disease. Like, it's as bad as the Zika virus.
Right.
So virtual reality headsets like the PSVR, which sounds really bad, could cause
that does sound like a disease, though.
Yeah,
PSVR.
Like, yeah, like I got hospitalized for PSVR, like chronic PSVR. It sounds like Lou Gehrig's disease or something. The PlayStation VR, that's sports related. The PlayStation VR headset is due to hit UK stores on October the 13th, costing £350. They got to lose a lot of weight to get the PlayStation VR. I couldn't even afford it. And allowing gamers to immerse themselves in a stunning 3D world like never before. We all know what virtual reality does. But while video game enthusiasts are clamoring to get their hands on the new devices, experts have warned that they could lead to long-term eye damage and could also have an unsettling effect on your stomach. Leading laser eye surgeon Dr. David Allenby, who I'm sure is excited about this because he gets a lot more business, clinical director of London's Focus Clinic, says VR could be setting up a generation of young adults for myopia and agonizingly painful dry eye, he says, I'm sure giddily, waiting for the checks to start rolling in.
He said as he tapped all of his fingers together maniacally.
Petted his cat, the white cat. With virtual reality headsets about to experience a real boom, we are setting up for the next generation of gamers to be for some potentially serious eye problems. But what about the vomiting? I'm more curious about the vomiting because I already have horrible, terrible eye strain. But what about the vomiting? Well, Dr. Allenby adds, VR headsets contain 2 small digital screens, each projected at one eye, creating a stereoscopic effect to create the illusion of depth. The closeness to these users' eyes over long, intense periods of time could lead to severe vision strain. He's still talking about, I want to hear about the vomiting. Where's the vomiting? Oh, here we go.
They put it in all caps. It's got to be there.
Yeah, it's at the very bottom of it. So earlier this year at the E3, Electronic Entertainment Expo, what's called E3 in LA, not Las Vegas for some reason, a select band of journalists road tested the PSVR playing Resident Evil 7, which is still apparently not come out yet. I didn't know that. I also didn't know we had Resident Evil 7.
Man, I heard that they were making Resident Evil 7 forever ago. That game is still in development.
Yeah, it's like PT.
I just assumed it was going to come out at some point. It's been out and I just didn't hear about it.
It's like Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah, it's coming out.
It's coming out, and then when it finally comes out, it's a horrible game.
June 1997. Wait for it. And then it comes out like 2010. It was a horrible game, though. It turned into a PR nightmare for the title's makers, Capcom, I should say, when a large number of writers began to suffer from motion sickness.
Oh, boy.
Jessica Condit, probably a wimp anyway, writing for Engadget, says, a third of the way through the demo, I suddenly felt feverish. Feverish?
What you're describing is not like nausea from...
Are you okay? This might be extenuating circumstances, maybe, but it's not the cause.
This might be the most serious case of PSVR we've ever seen.
Is maybe PSVR is like a portmanteau for PTSD.
Possibly.
Shift the letters around and add 666. You got PTSD. Illuminati confirmed. The first wave of nausea crashed over me, she says, shortly after, after I climbed the stairs for the first time. My head tilted upward as I peered around a dark loft space occupied by a group of naked mannequins. She was high. I wondered if I was coming down with the flu. 2 minutes later, I was barely paying attention to the game. My stomach churned and my skin steamed. 10 minutes into the demo, I knew if I put the PSVR back on, I was going to puke all over Sony Media's lounge.
So here's the thing. I think that she actually did feel ill, but she's a writer, and that's the most embellishment of anything that has ever happened. Your skin is steaming.
Right. Like, no,
what you're describing right now is the truth, but like there's such an embellishment of the truth.
That's like, guess what I'm doing? I'm traveling at an immense amount of speed. My eyes are twitching left and right constantly. I'm waiting for someone to crash into me. I finally find my right turn, and I turn my 1998 Buick LeSabre into my driveway. You know, it's crap like that. You know, like, come on.
I'm not saying that there's nothing there.
No, I am.
Because Sony is Sony. Like, if anybody could make something that absolutely made you ill, Sony would be the company to do it.
Well, the Ghostbusters movie did make me ill.
It did?
No.
Because
I never saw it.
Well, it still made me ill. I never saw it either.
Just because of the memory of the two now deceased people who are in that movie, thinking of them, thinking of that movie made me feel a little bit ill, I gotta say.
I was made more ill by the fact that it happened.
That's
but, you know, fair enough.
It really should have happened.
There's just some things that don't need sequels and reboots. That one was
Star Wars.
And I have to show you the review, by the way. There was a review of Ghostbusters 2 that basically...
Wait, you mean the new Ghostbusters?
The new Ghostbusters.
Because Ghostbusters 2 came out in like 1990.
Correct. I misspoke.
Okay.
But
just checking, because you may have been talking about Ghostbusters 2.
No, the new Ghostbusters. And the review wanted to paint that movie in such a favorable light that everything was a reach. Everything was a reach, and defending everything that everybody ever said negatively about that movie.
If your review of the movie is you defending the movie, it's probably not very good.
It's probably not a very good movie.
Yeah.
You know.
This is why There Will Be Blood is a good movie, is never a sentence anyone's have to write. Because everyone knows that's a good movie.
Yeah, the assumption you assume from a good movie, now you're just telling me why.
Right.
We're not assuming the new Ghostbusters is a good movie. There's nothing to really assume there. You see the trailers and in the commercials, and you just know.
We've nothing to expect good from nothing good to expect. Started talking like Yoda there. Nothing expect to good from this movie.
Exactly.
Bad. That's my Trump tweet of the day.
In all caps.
In all caps.
Which side tangent. Donald Trump and Kanye West are the two people that you have to follow on Twitter.
Oh, they're so funny.
It's ridiculous. And it's only ridiculous because they're both absolutely serious.
Yeah. The lack of irony is what makes it the best.
And Kanye said he was going to run for president in 2020.
Well, so did Wiz Khalifa, wasn't it?
Might have been.
Or was it Chief Keef?
If Chief Keef ever read, Chief Keef does understand that he's not going to be 35 years of age by 2020.
How old is Chief Keef?
And he cannot possibly run for president. I think he's in his mid-20s now.
What? Really?
Yeah, because he was like 18 when he got famous.
No, I thought he was like 30-something.
No.
Just because of his voice.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's so much.
Just because of all the
smoked so much weed.
Just because of all the Keef.
All of the Keef.
All the Keef is weed, you know.
Yeah,
Keef is weed crystals.
Crystals.
THC crystals.
Interesting.
That's not a joke. That's what Keef is.
I didn't know that's what that was.
I looked it up after I watched an episode of Atlanta where they talk about it, and I was like, oh, okay. Good show, by the way. Atlanta's really good.
Yeah, I've watched the first 3 episodes. I need to wait for the weekend to watch the 4th one. I just don't have like any time during the week. I'm just saying.
If we have enough time, we could watch them today. If you want to.
Fair enough.
Mel's down with that. I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But like, yeah, Chief Keef wouldn't be able to run for president. I don't know if he's aware. If he can't possibly run for president, but Kanye might be able to. And the only person who I would enjoy seeing in a debate at this point would be Kanye West.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish, or Kanye West and a moderator. Don't even have a second person for him to debate. He will debate himself, or the moderator.
But we all know who his vice presidential pick would be.
Who would his vice presidential pick be?
Beyonce.
Fair enough, because one of the greatest music videos of all time.
Of all time.
I think he should go out on a limb and pick Taylor Swift to be his running mate.
I was thinking of that just to appease the other side of the aisle.
Exactly.
The other side of the music aisle.
The other side of the music aisle being everybody else.
Right. Honestly, well, can't you like both? I think they're both pretty good.
I don't think there's anybody that legitimately dislikes both of them. It just, Kanye is a guy that he likes controversy, and he's doing it on purpose because he, apologized for everything that happened, and then in another interview goes, "Well, I'm not really sorry. I'm kind of sorry."
And he's the kind of guy who sees. I don't know if he thought it was racist necessarily, but he sees prejudice where I don't think it exists, because everyone worships the ground Beyonce walks on. I don't think anybody's like, "Oh, Beyonce, she's slighted. She's black. We can't have her.
She's so underrated,
Right.
that Beyonce." Even though,
like, if you're talking Taylor Swift and Beyonce, it really is a toss-up because they're both like some of the most acclaimed artists on the planet. Like, come on, you want to get on Mike, Janelle?
Beyonce specialist coming in.
I would definitely not call that. I'm not part of Beehive. That is yeah, did you know that?
Did the Beehive was a thing? No, because the Beehive attacked what's her name? The Food Network.
Yeah, Rachel Ray.
Rachel Ray.
Attacked Yada De Laurentiis, and I was upset about it.
No, but
No, you're here.
I know that this has nothing to do really with what you're talking about, but you were mentioning.
Well, this is our second digression deep, so at this point,
we got 4 minutes. Janelle, you're on.
I am a formal digressor. I know what I do. But yeah, like, so you're talking about like race stuff and Beyonce. Like, actually, there was like a big thing about it, and they were like making comments about how dark she looked on a particular magazine. It kind of came out like, "Yo, actually," and she was making comments about how they were photoshopping her to make her look a lot lighter than she actually was, and she kind of had to stand up and be like, "Actually, nope, I'm actually not that color. Like, that's actually not the color of my skin." Don't know what happened there. Could have been flash. Could have been something else. But,
it was probably the flash and makeup that they put on her, just
and
lighting.
Photoshop.
Yeah.
Huh.
I can't see like the director of photography being like, this well-known black woman, too black.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
I understand it's a
Venus
thing.
and Serena Williams had to go through some of that as well. Like,
There's just such a level of how, like, you're so famous. Like, would we not notice? That doesn't really look like her at all.
I'd say in a world where Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah. Yep. Just the O there.
Nyong'o.
There you go.
In a world where she's one of the most beautiful people on the planet, according to whatever magazine it was, but she's very pretty. Agree with that.
Right.
I can't see that also being the world where people are like, Beyonce is too black.
I see, and I want to live in that world. Like, I live in that world. I don't know if the rest of America lives in that same world either, though. Inspection drone. We're watching Fox News, and they.
No, we're not, Janelle. We're on the radio.
What did I say?
We're not watching Fox News. We're on.
I didn't say anything. I'm sorry. I don't know. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything at all. Anyway, so that being said, yeah, like, I think it's interesting because a lot of black celebrities, females specifically, and actually not just black celebrities, a lot of celebrity females in general that I'm aware of have come out saying, actually, yeah, like, I've been photoshopped, I've been lightened, I've had my body type changed. I think, was it Meghan Trainor who recently had Photoshop fiasco?
Slimmed her up a bit.
I'm not gonna lie. I think this is a horrible time to mention. I don't know what Meghan Trainor looks like.
She looks a little bit big.
It's all about that base.
None of that trouble nonsense.
None of that.
Which is an allegory for health.
Yeah, so then I knew somebody actually who used to work at Sony Music Pictures. And in one of my experiences there, I got to see some of the photoshopping that was being done for a particular artist. And very interesting. This was a very well-known female artist. And
country music artist, no?
Yes, but I don't know where I'm allowed to say what.
I think that you could go at least that far.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the. Yeah, but yeah, and they literally cut out her hair and her waist, completely changed her outfit to make her waist look longer.
And I think Trace Adkins looks fine. I don't know why they would do that.
Garth Brooks, but I just really think it's very interesting, like what they do.
Just completely, you had to give Blake Shelton the curves, obviously.
Over and over again.
I've never heard a thing by him. I would not recognize him.
I would recognize him on the street because just randomly he was on the cover of every magazine ever, every time I went to the grocery store. But if I heard Blake Shelton's voice, I wouldn't know it. So there's that. I don't listen to country music at all.
Well, before we got like 20 seconds. I want to read you this headline real quick.
Okie dokie.
The ham dog is the greatest advance in technology since sliced bread. It is a hamburger with 2 hot dogs on either side of it. That's what it looks like.
Oh.
According to the Huffington Post, it is the greatest advance in technology.
Okay.
Where's your ham dog?
It's America. What will they think of next? You've been listening to 2 Millennials Talk, where we suddenly became 3 Millennials talking. This is Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. I keep resisting the urge to say Clutch with Keon Rose because it's not that. But make sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, as well as the TuneIn Radio app, Hot 1240, TuneIn Radio app. Listen like you mean it.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.